It's Regina Evans. I am a native of Oakland, California, first and foremost. I am an artist and an abolitionist. I am the founder of Regina's Door, which is a social enterprise vintage boutique. And I founded that in 2014 and to help support young survivors of sex trafficking. So Oakland is the number one hotspot in America for child sex trafficking. So I founded it so I'd have a base to work out of and a place where I can embrace them. And so that was 2014. I've now passed on Regina's Door to a young activist here in Oakland named Rashida Chase, and so she's operating it and doing her own thing and also supporting young survivors. I'm also the co-founder of Conjuring Men with Mara Tabor Smith. And Conjuring Men, we started Conjuring Men to love and to heal and to teach young survivors of sex trafficking how to be costumers, but mainly to heal. So, because sewing is so healing and it's such an ancestral art form and it's slow paced and you can do it out of the glare of the light, and it's something that you create with your own hands, which can never be taken from you. I started doing the work, the specific work of building altars on the track, and the track is a high density area where the beloved are sex trafficked. So I've been doing that by myself or with one other person for about 10 years. And I started doing it because I didn't see the organizations who do amazing outreach. There wasn't like an artist kind of feel to it. So I just started doing that and just building altars on the corners. It also gave me access to be able to speak love to the girls without putting them in danger. I was able to talk to them without bringing them any harm from their exploiters. So I would say things like, "You are beloved. I love you. I see you. There's some candy in here. There's like resources in here." And I'm just building the altar and I'm talking, and I probably looked like a crazy person, but I kept doing it, and I do it all the time. Called my friend Allie Jones. I said, "This is what I want to do," and she helped me figure out how to do everything. But I met her through the Black Woman is God. And then I had these just paper, and on the paper it would either say, "You are beloved," "You are beautiful," and I would sign it the Queendom. Right? So it was like me and one other person, but I always signed it the Queendom because I'm like, you gotta let love from a lot of people. They might not be out here, but I just wanted them to know that there were people that saw them. When COVID hit, somebody sent me a message on Facebook. I actually think it was Nita B, who does a lot of work in the encampments. I think it was her. She said, "Mama Rich, do you know what's going on?" And I hadn't been out for like maybe 2 weeks. I definitely hadn't been out since COVID hit, and this was very early on. And so I said, "I haven't been out for a little bit." And I called Mom, I call her Mama Mara Tabor Smith. I called her. I said, "Hey, can we go out on Thursday?" And we went out, and it was wild. I had never seen the track like that before, and it was just waves and waves of young girls. It was just waves. All of a sudden, it was just waves. It was wild. And then the feel of people call them Johns. I call them rapists. The feel, they were so happy. You could feel it. I don't know, it was very distressing. And so me and Mama Mara, we just kept going out, and definitely every Thursday and a couple other days of the week. And I'd go out during the day just to check and see what's going on. And I had a dream one night, and in the dream I saw the track as a garden. And it was one of those kind of dreams where you feel like you're awake. So it was like that. So when I woke up, I was like, whoa. I was like, I knew I had to do that. And so I said, oh, we have to turn the track into a garden to deliver love and beauty to the beloved. And so at the same time, I applied for a grant from the Akanati Foundation. And I got that grant. And so I was able to, we bought plants, and we were getting donations of hand sanitizers, masks, by Tonya Amos. She donated a bunch of masks. The San Francisco Opera, they donated a bunch of masks. People were just donating a lot of stuff. We got some stuff from the Department of Violence Prevention. And so we took all of that out. I asked community members to bring trinkets, things that would show love. And I decided to build altars, but plant altars, which I had never built before. And I didn't even think about the fact that I had never built a plant altar until I got out there. But luckily, my friend Shayna Lancaster came out, and it was the only one she came to. But Shayna is a master garden altar builder. And so she showed me how to do that, and we built it on infrastructure. I usually build my things like right on the ground, because for me, there's something about the earth and the ground. But we built it on chairs and tables, and so that meant we were able to put resources, the PPE, the plants, all the beautiful trinkets of the community. They would just come and people just dropped off some amazing things. And so we would do a block at a time. It would take us about 9 hours. We sometimes we would do the 4 corners, which will also take us like the same amount of time. The community came out in full force. It was beautiful. Probably each time somewhere between 30 and 40 artists. One time it was probably about 50. Just people from all different areas, in life. And then the NGOs, Missy, Dreamcatchers, Covenant House, Shade, they all came out. And I don't know, it was just a good cross-section of people. Because this is literally, the Beloved was the biggest thing that I've done out in the light. Because I'm very comfortable doing my work, like, in the dark, underground. Like, I'm super comfortable doing that. Bringing it out in the light and still being able to feel safe and to create safety for people is a journey for me. Karen came to my store, Regina's store, and she said, I have some walls to do and I want you to do a wall. And I said, I'm not an artist, I'm a theater artist. And she looked at me kind of like, what? And she said, look at your store. Your store is an installation. And I was like, oh. And I said, I'm not an artist though, Karen. And she said, basically, well, this is how I saw it. I saw it like this. You're an artist, you're gonna do the wall. Okay, I'll see you later. Right? It was kind of like that. That's how it felt. And I remember watching her walk. She was like, bye. And I remember watching her walk down the street. And I'm like looking at her like, what just happened? And she was so certain, she was so certain that I could do this huge, gigantic wall that I kind of, after a while, I was like, oh, I think I could do it. And because I'm like, if Karen says it, she sees something in me, I can probably do it. I have a love for fabric, and fabric loves me. Fabric will move in some very beautiful ways in my hand. So I sculpt fabric. I'm so glad that she said that to me, because there are a lot of things that I don't think I'd be doing now. Like, why am I doing walls? That is a boundary, right? There's something about, which I'm not exactly sure, about creating something, recreating, healing through boundaries that are not really boundaries though, that are really roadmaps, that are blueprints. But there's a restoration there. I think that it is important to, especially for survivors, to keep journeying in such a way that we are reaching towards safety, love, and nourishment. The boundary thing is so important because they've been breached for so long and in some very deep ways. And so I think the work for ourselves and as we help other survivors and young women coming out of it is to be able to create some kind of roadway that's safe but free. Like if you look at this wall, like right in the middle is Harriet Tubman, the emancipator. On a wall that's a boundary. She's in the middle. And I put a constellation around her, like of lace. That's a constellation around her. If you look on the other side is Maya Angelou. That's another emancipator. And I did this unknowingly. That's me. In the same, this is faded yellow, faded green, faded orange. This was from when I was 5 years old. And I went, I'm always like, I go to mom's house and I say this really, I steal stuff out of my mom's house so I can have it, and I'll put it on the wall. Like she'll come to my store and she'll be like, where? And I'm like, what? It was on the floor. I didn't even wanted it. But I stole this out of my mom's house, right? And there's a lot of stuff that I took out of her house. But she was on vacation and I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna put it on the wall. But look, it's 1, 2, 3 of the same colors. And these are my machetes. So I put a border around me of my machete. That's protection, the sky, the constellation, the vastness of the sky, but on a border. You think of our ancestors living in terror with no borders, like on the daily. That's how young survivors live. That's how young victims live. And so that sticks with you when you have no borders of safety. You know, I'm almost 60 years old, and I still get traumatized by breaches of my borders. And so I try to use that and turn it into something beautiful, so to turn it into strength. And so that's one part of my artwork with the installations. When I was building this, like people asked me if I had drawn it out, and I didn't. I had this whole floor was covered with stuff. You come in, it was stuff from here, all the way back. And I had a pair of my grandmother's scissors that I still have, and I cut up all this fabric. And I just started putting it on the wall. And as I was putting it on the wall, I said this: if I'm ever in trouble, if I ever need an answer, I want to be able to look at that wall and get an answer. And that has occurred several times.
Let me speak to you clearly. Hear my voice. Hear me. I am somebody's baby. I'm somebody's child. And I want you to speak to the dead places where care and compassion are supposed to reside, and breathe life into their bones and raise up a mighty army of love for me. I'm somebody's baby. I'm somebody's child. And I want you to look me in my eyes and speak to me that I am not worthy to have the warmth of your being wrap itself across my lonely soul. I'm somebody's baby, somebody's child. So listen, won't you hear my cry today? And won't you hug the rivers that leak from my eyes and taste my tears? I'm somebody's baby, somebody's child. And I'm yours to love, yours.